Up today, the Greek and Latin roots non, nov, oct, onum, pan, and pathy. And you already know so many words that have these cells. Let's begin with non. As a general prefix, non means no or nothing, like non-negotiable or nonsense. Or nov, which means new, like a novelty or novel. But we're talking about the Latin non and nov, which mean nine. Just like in English where we can have words that have two different meanings, these roots can have multiple meanings too. Let's look at some words. Start with the month of November. Now in our calendar, it's the 11th month, but the old Julian calendar, developed in ancient Rome, it was the 9th month, thus November. Just like nov, non also means 9. So nonillion has 9 sets of 0 after the initial 1,000. So really 10 sets of zeros, and I know that that's more confusion, but it's really octillion thousandths. And non, along with oct, is also one of the number words when it comes to shapes. You already know a quadrilateral has 4 sides. A pentagon has 5. A hexagon has 6 sides, and a heptagon 7. So now we have oct meaning 8 and non meaning 9. So an octagon is an 8-sided, 2-dimensional shape, or more literally 8-angled since gon means angled, and a nonagon is a 9-sided shape. By the way, you want to be smart in math, the area of a regular polygon, so a multilateral, remember that word, shape with equal lengths and equal angles, is 1/2 the apothem, which is the radius of the circle inside, times the perimeter. Ask your math teacher. But I digress. Back to our words. There are not that many words with non meaning 9, but there are lots of words with oct. Remember how we talked about if November is the 9th month in the Julian calendar? Well then, which one is October? Right, it's the 8th month. So you know where it got its name, even though it's our 10th month. An octant is 1/8 of a part of something. Just like a quadrant, meaning 4, is 1/4. What about an octet? Oct means 8, and et, if you recall, means small group. So an octet is a small group of 8. And of course an octopus is a creature with 8, octo, legs, puss. Next up, maybe I should remain anonymous. Not really, but what do you think that word means? Literally, an means not or without. Anonymous means name or word. So anonymous means without name. She sent an anonymous letter to the newspaper. Here's one that's related. Pseudo means false, so a pseudonym is a false name, one that authors often use. In that case, it can be called a pen name. Mark Twain, for example, was the pseudonym used by Samuel Langhorne Clemens, who wrote books like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Time for some more. If syn, S-Y-N, means same, what do you think synonym means? Yeah, it's a word that means the same or close to as another word. Like mistake can mean the same as error. But don't confuse it with homonym, because although HOM means one and the same, a homonym is a word that sounds the same as another word, but has a different meaning. Like herd, a group of animals, and heard, the past tense of something having been perceived by the ear. And yet another, there are antonyms. And these are words that you're going to need to know when you take a lot of tests. Ant, A-N-T, means opposite. So an antonym is a word with an opposite meaning. To make it simple, happy and sad are antonyms. Let's move on to pan. Like the other words this time, it also comes from the Greek. It means all or every. Remember when you learned about that one great continent that all our land masses hypothetically were once part of? Okay, see if you remember the word. If you have all of the earth as one, Pangea. A panorama means a complete view of something in every direction. A panacea is a cure-all. And a pandemic is an epidemic, usually of some sort of disease, that occurs everywhere. Pantheism is a form of religion in which believers follow all gods. Pan for all, and theism for gods. Remember the Pantheon in ancient Rome? It was dedicated to the worship of all gods. Pan equals all, the equals gods, on, place for. What's kind of ironic here is that all the roots here are Greek, but the Romans borrowed the words from them. Last but not least, pass and path. Path in this sense does not mean a trail or a way to something. That actually comes from the German. No, pass and path in this case come from the Greek. Doesn't seem like they all do? Meaning feelings. And we'll have to combine our knowledge of other word cells to come up with new words. For example, compassion means having feelings for other people's suffering. And you usually want to help that person. That's because it starts with come, which means together, which kind of means to work together. Pass, which is feelings, and ion, which is the quality of. So you usually want to help that person who's feeling bad. Now this is really close to sympathy, which literally means same feelings. So you share those person's feelings in an effort to make them feel better. And this is really close to empathy. Empathy is a little different because it means something a little different, as though you are actually experiencing the same feelings. You can sympathize with someone who did not do well on a test. You're sad because they are sad, and you want to help them feel better. But you can empathize with fellow classmates because you're all facing the same difficult history test. Those shades of meaning are really important. There are other words. Antipathy, which is a natural and intense dislike of something. Pathetic, which is a sense of pity. Apathy, which is no feelings or to not care about something at all. Combine those last two, apathy and pathetic, and you have apathetic, an adjective used to describe a lack of feelings towards a subject. Till next time, don't be apathetic about these word cells. Know them!